And then, boom, like there's the Great Pyramids. Which, okay, you know what? Let's just start right here. We'll start right here. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's boom. We're in the realm.
Oh shit.
We're in the realm. Hi everyone. Right now we're watching a video of the Pyramids of Giza. Are you into the Pyramids of Giza at all? Are you into all that weird shit?
I mean, in a very amateurish way.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like, we're not like scientists here, but like
I listen to what smarter people than myself say, and I'm like, ooh, that's
Well,
interesting.
the reason why John Anthony West, you know who that is?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So that dude, I just watched his video called something of the Secret of the Sphinx, I want to say it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, that changed my world, because truly, every time you think of the pyramids, you just kind of think of like, oh yeah, the slaves built it and blah blah blah, and that's totally not what happened.
Yeah.
It's not even close to what happened. Anyway.
So you on the alien side of that, or?
No, he's not. He's on like...
No, not him, but I was saying you.
Oh, I'm not on the alien side of it.
Yeah.
I'm more on the side where, like, because right now the evidence is coming out saying that there was a meteor impact about 13,000 years ago.
Yeah, like the Graham Hancock stuff.
Yes, Graham fucking
Graham
Hancock.
Graham's a gem of a human being.
I'm so glad you know Graham Hancock.
Yeah. I listen to Rogan, you know.
Oh, he's on Rogan's podcast?
Oh, all the time. That's how I heard about him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, he... Okay.
I would say all the time. He's been on a few times.
Yeah, he's written a few different books, and he's been under some serious scrutiny, but yet no one has any reason to come up with a reason why he's wrong.
Yeah. Well, because he's saying shit that's
got a bunch
verifiable.
Of evidence. He's got a bunch of shit that they're wrong about,
yeah.
And they're all like, yeah, well, look at this fucking guy. And it's like, well, what is he saying that's so wrong?
Well,
look at him. He wears glasses.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, like he says a million times, it's like, it's all about people's, they've built their careers around these ideas,
right.
And there's some dude comes along and is like, that's not right, and he's like, fuck that.
It's so weird. That's humans, though. We don't want to change. We have this perception that we can't change our identity based on new information.
No, or
stupid.
Just ever be wrong for that matter.
Right.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I think about it a lot in traffic, because like I see that as like a root cause of why people just drive like the worst dickheads.
Yeah.
Like it's this sense of like entitlement where they're just like, where I'm going is fucking way more important than what you're doing, dude. Like, I don't give a shit about you.
I think the biggest thing with
that
traffic,
trickles down.
I think traffic is like a visual representation of what it looks like when someone doesn't let you promote in a job or get further down the social line. That's just like the physical, like, because okay, you're stuck in traffic and you just can't fucking go because that guy won't let you go ahead. That's like, that frustration is like you're waiting on somebody else. I think that's kind of, and we're three-dimensional people living, like trying to navigate in a two-dimensional space.
Yeah.
You know? Buildings go up, apartments go up, roads stay sideways.
Yeah.
On a flat surface, it doesn't. You're excluding a y-axis from that part of society where everything else in society has a y-axis in it. You're automatically getting rid of all of your... That's why Elon's building all these fucking tunnels.
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce yourself? I forgot to introduce yourself.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I'm Dalton. Dalton Krause.
Nickname Bubba.
That's what people call me.
So as the podcast goes, I will be only calling him Bubba, because that's what I know him as.
Yeah, fun fact about Bubba is I was given that nickname like in infancy. And it just stuck. My brother refuses to call me pretty much anything else, and it predates the movie Forrest Gump, so they were calling me Bubba before that movie came out, and then like a year and a half after Forrest Gump happened, and it was solidified for the rest of the time, because it was like that's all I heard. Oh, gotta find Bubba like every day. So
it's like a fate thing.
Yeah. So
you're a drummer.
Yeah, I play several instruments. I play drums, bass, and amateur style of guitar that I've fashioned for myself.
You're in a band right now.
3.
There are 3 bands right now.
Correct.
Holy Christ.
Yeah.
And do you do drums for all of them, or do you do different instruments?
So I mean, the band, I'm in a rock band. We're called X Supermodels. Check us out on Facebook.
X Supermodels.
X Supermodels.
That's dope.
And we're a big sloppy garage rock trio. Just fun, just balls out rock music. Big dumb rock music, we like to call it.
Big dumb rock.
But it's like the most fun. And yeah, I rip the drums on that. And been doing that for a while. I have my solo stuff. That's it's called Wallet Size Wildfire. Also on Facebook. I'm pretty much only on Facebook.
We got to get you out there on the other ones, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I limit my social media to Facebook for the pure reason of not overextending myself into the digital world, because I try to keep one foot in reality.
Do you want to know how
like,
I fixed that problem? Because I did the same thing. I wasn't on Twitter. I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't on anything but Facebook until 2013 probably. And then, well, I was on Twitter before that, but it was like I made an account and I would like post occasionally, like, you know, every time something happens in sports and you're like, oh, proud and honored to, you know, state my commitment to blah blah. That it was basically for that type of bullshit, so I could try to pretend like I'm a celebrity at the time. Yeah, in high school. But I got this app like on my phone now. On these phones, you can put like screen time, and it like warns you in 5 minutes this phone's shutting off, and that's it, dude. You are done for the day. Like, I have a 2-hour limit on my phone for the day. So, like, what it does is it really makes
give yourself an ultimatum.
That's it. I have 2 hours.
Like,
so,
see, that would piss me off, though. I would get like, I'd be like, oh, this is cool, and then when I like, what if you need it?
But that's the thing. It makes you recognize that you only use it when you need it. I don't play games on my phone anymore. I don't do so. Like, when I'm posting for like this podcast or for comedy or something like that, it's pretty much it.
But how do you play Plants vs. Zombies 2?
What? Plants vs. Zombies?
I'm into that shit,
dude. How the fuck do you play?
Oh, I love it. I love it. But that's aside the point. It's made to be addictive and to make you spend money on it.
It's supposed to be. You're in your fucking. Yeah. It's the screen, and it's like it's in my hands.
And there's a million different ways to buy shit in the game. It's fucking ridiculous, but it's fun. I get addicted to stupid like tower defense phone games. Like I'll spend.
Oh, I do when they go on the trail.
Yeah, and I'll spend like money on full title, like full, you know, like big titles and shit. Like I bought like Borderlands 3 and I barely touched it because I have this weird deficiency when it comes to like playing games. I don't know what it is, but if it's a stupid fucking phone game, I'm like playing it all day. Which I don't know. My brain's susceptible to that kind of. I don't know, whatever they're triggering in the ADD, like kind of slightly aspy brain that. Dude, people like me have. It's kind of.
I just got like re-diagnosed with fucking ADHD, and I'm like, to me,
I don't need to get re-diagnosed. I know it's there.
Like that, but to me, that's just my life, dude. Whatever, you know, I'm so used to it now. It's like, oh yes, you need this medicine. Oh, I fucking don't. Yeah. They give me like all this meth, and it's just in bottle. I have all these bottles of these prescriptions around the house. I don't take them.
Yeah.
But then if I don't fill them, they're like, I thought you didn't fill your prescription. What's going on? And I'm like, fuck. So I go fill it. And then I go throw it in a drawer.
They're giving that shit to children.
They are. Dude, Ritalin. I literally have bottles of Ritalin. Yeah. You cannot pay me to take that shit.
I was prescribed. So back when I was in high school, I was a terrible, terrible student.
So was I.
Just ignored my homework at all costs.
So did I.
So they got me on the, you know, it started with like Concerta or something like that. And then it went out, and I just kept being like, I knew, so to preface this, I live in a really small town in the Midwest, and small towns in the Midwest, as many people know, are completely just to the brim with tweakers. Like, I mean, no, like it's bad. It's a huge problem.
Is it really?
Yeah, like in Minnesota and Wisconsin, and rural places like that. Like when there's just like a black hole where in big cities you can find real drugs, people are like, "Oh, we gotta make our own drugs," so they make backwoods meth.
Make their shit.
And so you could sell Adderall like nothing. Like it was so easy. So I just like upped my prescription to 30 milligrams, and I would trade it for weed. Like that's how I afforded weed because I didn't like work. Or like I did, but I didn't like make a lot.
Yeah, I had a friend that did that, and that fucked him bad. Yeah. We were juniors in high school, and he got caught. He dealt his. I think it was just straight amphetamine salts because it was just the instant release. Sold it, and some kid had a fucking seizure in the bathroom and snitched on him right away. Yeah, so he got suspended. He had to go to homeschool for 2 years, and like his day was like that was shitty.
Yeah, no, I was really lucky. I didn't get caught like ever with the law as a kid. I didn't get
drugs, kids.
I got arrested as an adult once. That's a fun story. But we got super sidetracked.
Yeah, let's go to your third band.
Yeah, no, so I didn't finish my solo stuff. Wildfire. I do that by myself, and I play guitar and I have a double neck guitar. So it's
so you got the bass and the
it's a 4-string and a 6-string guitar, and it's all single like looping based instrumental rock. It's very, people always like kind of, associated with like movie score kind of music, like very drawn out. Like the songs are very like they ramp up because it's just me looping one riff over, and then looping on that and looping on that.
Do you have
it's very
simple,
looper,
like the foot pedal thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen. I don't know how to work those, but those look dope.
It's and it's kind of like people call it a cop out because like it is a way to get around being talented or being like, technically talented, because I can't play guitar, but I like in the sense that like I don't really even know chords.
Slash.
I don't play chords in my music. My solo stuff, I take like a couple of notes, like it's really simple 3-note riff.
Dude, that's how every 90s band got their start.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm super influenced by like a lot of 90s shit.
That's what I'm saying.
And instrumental music too, and but I just like layer it in heavy effects. Like it's all about the effects, it's all about the pedal board and using that in unique ways, Which at this point in time in 2019, there's no unique ways to make music anymore. So that's why you get this just array of crazy shit that people make, because you got to really reach out there to be creative and be unique in music or in anything really, because it's like we're at a time where we're just so saturated with it. Right. There's so many people doing it, and we have so many influences to draw from all the time that everything just gets crazy.
There has never been more stand-up comedians at a club tried to get on stage.
Oh yeah, and it extends in every kind of art there is. Been. Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's a fucking battle zone out
here. It's because of people like fucking Joe Rogan. It was like he's got this huge audience and he has all these cool fucking comedians on, and they're talking about cool shit. And you're just like, I want to be one of them.
But the problem is that there's a guy that I know who does stand up, and I'm not going to say his name, but he thinks he is fucking funny. Like he thinks he is just nailing punchlines at the clubs. Like he thinks he's got the crowds roaring.
Yeah,
not happening.
Yeah,
like maybe 2 people laugh, but. And that's good for him that he's still trying it, but it's like, dude, I've seen you weld, and your welds look better than I can iron a shirt. Like, not everyone can do anything. It sounds so terrible to say that.
No, it's a huge truth that people don't want to think about.
You can't just do whatever the fuck you want. If you're just terrible at something, if I don't have a left leg, I'm not going to try to be Lance Armstrong.
Exactly.
It's just, okay?
I mean, bad example now.
It is a bad example.
Cheater!
But it's like, fuck, man. Like, it's okay to be good at something that, like, isn't a famous job.
Yeah.
Dude, I did something that would have never made me famous until I got fired. And then I was like, well, fuck jobs.
Yeah.
If they're just going to fire me, then fuck them. And I just started doing this because I didn't want to worry about money from other people anymore.
Yeah.
It's really, so, like...
that's it.
People who dedicate their lives to their jobs, man, it's like, dude, they will fucking replace you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, you got to take your and if your job, let's say like trade schools, the average age of a tradesman in the United States is 53 years old.
Yeah,
we're 7 years away from retiring, and we have no one to replace them because everyone went to a 4-year.
Yeah. No, bringing it back to what you're saying about it's about people having roles, like, or about that, like not everyone can do everything. That's like a huge thing I've thought a lot about, actually, is like people really are like, we are all so beautifully unique in all these different ways, and it'd be crazy to think that we're all supposed to do anything,
right?
Like we're people like drafting, like army draft, like that is a bad idea.
Terrible.
For the reason that like not everyone should fucking be in the army. Not everyone has the mind and the skill set and the just natural, like ability to handle themselves in a situation where there's fucking bombs going off, and those people are going to drop the ball when someone's life is on the line. That's what happens. And
did you know in World War II, over 80% of the rounds were intentionally shot high because of the drafted people didn't want to kill people, so they would intentionally shoot high. So
and that would be me. That would be me. I'm like, I've thought about it. Like, I will never. And I respect the shit out of anyone who has like the fucking balls to like do that. Like, it's like,
do not get it twisted. We are not shitting on the military.
Oh, of course not. No,
absolutely not, dude. We need people who have the balls to go keep the shit over there so we can be safe here.
That person's not me. That's like, I've come to that realization. I'm an artist. Like, and it's like, that's like the most I'm an artist. Like, it sounds like an asshole when you say that, but. It's true, though. I realize that about myself. It's like, I'm not here to, like, fucking be this big, buff guy.
Right.
I don't know. That was a dumb way to put it.
Well, no, because...
But I'm here to fucking make music
labels,
and,
what are we
like,
doing?
And shit like that.
What's with these... It's almost so black and white with everything now.
Yeah.
If you're not a Republican, you're a fucking Democrat. And if you're a fucking liberal, then you're a fucking conservative.
We could talk the whole time about that whole bullshit. And the internet only makes that worse.
And it's not... Well, to me, it's just... Well, yeah, yes.
Yes.
I just don't like... I feel like we're going... Like, I don't want to have to prove my fucking skin color. I don't want to have to prove... Like, every time I talked to someone the other day who was seriously, like, a component of equity over equality, where equity means the equality of outcome, where equity or equality is just everyone gets an equal opportunity. So, in which case, like, let's say there's a 100-meter dash, but I'm white, so I have to do the whole 100 meters. And let's say you're Asian in the Harvard case, well, now you have to do 125 meters.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Harvard did you know that they did that? That they purposefully...
No.
Yeah, Harvard was purposefully... the best Ivy League school that I've ever... And they went, oh, yeah, it was better. You know what I mean? Everyone knows of Harvard being the school.
It's the school.
It's the school. And they were being literally racist against Asians for being too smart. They said there were too many Asians at their school. So I want you to look at an Asian person in their face and go, hey, sorry, you can't get in there because...
You're too smart.
Well, not only that, how do you know that that person's smart just because they're Asian?
Yeah.
Because other people
if they're going to Harvard, they're fucking smart.
But like, let's say just their application is already in a harder bracket to compete, is what I'm saying. So, like, before their knowledge is even looked at, you got squinty eyes. You're in a different category. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck,
well,
man? That is fucked up.
Should never be a thing.
Because you change it to black people.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a huge fucking problem. Huge problem. But it's the Asians. They won't complain.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is. It's what group's gonna complain the least.
Yeah.
It's terrible, man. It's active racism against people who complain the least.
And you could find examples of that scattered all about.
Oh, that's
America's wonderful, wonderful culture.
Land of the free.
Land of the free.
free.
The land of the free with the most incarcerated people
but
on
you
the
have to
on the
pay
planet.
your taxes, and if you smoke weed, we're throwing you in a dog cage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's how it works here.
One of the dumbest laws ever made.
Dude, I just saw the Grand Forks County Sheriff, Grand Forks where I used to live, and I love the sheriff there. I voted for him. I had a sign in my front yard. I loved him. But he posted this shit today on Facebook, which, if you're a cop and you're posting someone's face to the internet, hi, we're looking for this person. Does anyone recognize? Don't fucking do that. Don't fucking do that. Innocent until proven guilty means that you don't go around screaming their name in the town square for everyone to wonder what you did. That's not how that shit works. And yes, the internet is the town square. Even if someone's not commenting,
it's the world square.
They're seeing it. Even if they're not interacting, they're scrolling past it and reading it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can't do that. So they're like, yeah, this guy has 8 felony charges, and then we're about to read all these. Oh, absolutely, that's what it's here for, brother. I forgot to get you that bottle
this
opener.
ain't a twist.
It's right there. It's on top of that. See, it's on top of the.
Here, you keep talking while I grab it.
I'm just gonna keep yapping, just because I'm sorry. What was I saying? God, what were we just talking about?
I don't know, but it definitely got sidetracked again, and I didn't get to my
God,
third one yet.
Marijuana is a son of a bitch.
But that's what's up. I mean, it's natural conversation.
Oh yeah, his charges were all possession charges, and not going to like a court hearing or whatever that one is when you don't go to court.
Yeah.
I don't know what that charge is, but it's like those are all bullshit charges. All of his charges were literally for trying to mask an underlying problem. He's not a fucking victim because he's a meth head or whatever he's on. He's on something to the gateway drug isn't what the gateway drug is trauma.
Yeah.
The gateway drug is being raped as a fucking child because your parents brought you to church.
Yeah.
You know, like how many priests are coming? I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If you're a Catholic and you don't like me for this, you can go fuck yourself. Literally, the amount of people who are defending the Catholic Church for these rape accusations, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Make it any other organization.
I was raised Catholic.
Oh,
and I'm super
my
not
grandparents
offended by
are
you.
still my grandparents are still Catholic, and
no, mine too. Yeah.
It's just like, fuck all. How can you defend this?
Yeah.
How can you defend this? If it was the Boy Scouts had a quarter as much rape in it, and they are the rape organization in the minds of everyone.
And it's common, not like it was being pushed under the rug.
Yeah.
Like, for people to argue about, like, oh, numbers-wise, like, there's this percentage of priests who don't rape, and it's like, yeah, that's cool.
The Vatican,
of course there is.
The
but
Vatican
like,
has the most
the ones
densely
that do.
populated population of pedophiles. The Vatican, the holy city, the most populated density. Because I remember in in the Bible in Genesis 1:1, God created the heaven and the
Guinness
earth.
Book of World Records.
Can you imagine for the most rape in one organization? The Catholic Church would take it by far, dude. Systematic rape since the year 1950. The Catholic Church, everyone in the back, all the pedophiles.
Do they still make Guinness Book of World Record?
Yeah, they do, man.
I haven't seen one of those in a million years.
My cousin just won one, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was a part of the world's largest Secret Santa trading thing last year.
That's a weird one.
Literally, he was on 4chan, and all of him and his 4chan buddies did the Secret Santa exchange. It was like millions of people.
Wow.
It's
That's
fucking
insanity.
dope.
Sorry, I kind of
No, go
interrupted
ahead.
what you were saying before.
I forgot what I was even saying again. This is what I do. Whatever.
Can I bring it back
Let's
to
talk
my-
about your music again. So we're on your
And
solo.
then we can get sidetracked to one other
Right.
thing.
We're on your solo work.
I pretty much went through all that. You know,
Okay.
it's looping music. It's instrumental. It's cool. I'm also in a band, another instrumental band with my buddy Nick. He lives up on the Iron Range up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yo.
and he's a brilliant musician. Shout out to Nick Addy. We're in a band called Kevlar, and
That's
it's
a dope name.
it's very electronic influenced, like psychedelic,
Oh hell
synth rock music.
Speaking my language.
Have you ever heard of Boards of Canada?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like he's like
And if you
big
haven't,
fan. He
you should.
really got me into them. And they're one of those bands that people are obsessed about, and for good reason. Like they have a very much a cult following because like they're just like this just hugely unique
It's the music industry's
musical
best kept
entity.
secret.
Yeah, like
Because no one knows about them, and then when your friend tells you about it, you're like, "How the fuck aren't these guys?"
No one in
everywhere?
the mainstream. They're low key. They have a big fan base, but not on the scale of like they don't have like a Rihanna fan base. You know, it's like
it's literally one of those things where you hear them and you're like, "Why the fuck is this the first time I'm hearing this?" Like, I feel like this is one of the like if Drake and Cardi B is in the mainstream, why the fuck aren't they in the mainstream?
Well, because people don't want that. That's the thing. I've realized this. So I love instrumental music. Is just dear to my heart. Like instrumental,
it's real.
Instrumental rock music is very much so one of the least listened to genres. I know this. Like the as far as like main genre, like besides like polka and general that like nobody listens to. Not counting dead genres entirely out of like what people listen to now. Instrumental rock's pretty low down on there because like most people want lyrics in their music. They don't identify with just music. And I think if you look into the fan base of instrumental rock, it's a lot of musicians like it. It really is. It's music for musicians.
I feel like
not entirely, obviously. It's like generalizing, but because
it's a language.
You know,
it's a language you guys speak.
And what people like about it is that it gives you images and it gives it makes you feel things. Right. You're identifying with just a pure like musical thing and not like words, so it's like it's your interpretation of it. It's not someone telling you something that they're, you know, like obviously like lyrics have intent, like in the music, the only intent of instrumental music is the music itself, and it's beautiful in that way. And for some reason just so many people just don't get that, and it's sad. And it's, I mean,
exactly,
what can you do? But like, and there's a lot of different things to love about different genres of music. But, like, the most popular band in instrumental rock music, Explosions in the Sky, like, the peak of their fame is playing, like, the Palace Theater. Like, that's where I just saw them recently there. And it's, like, that's, like, you know, I don't even think that show sold out. So it's, like...
They were still there. It's dope.
Yeah, no, it's, you know... It's cool though. It's a cool kind of music. I think it doesn't get enough love, except for when it's in a fucking movie. Then everyone's like, "Oh, this scene is so powerful and beautiful and epic," and it's like it's because of the music. It's because of the beautiful music that someone.
Have you ever watched
a
scary movie on mute? It's fucking funny.
I love watching movies on mute and putting my own music to them.
It's so funny. It's so. I watched the House of Wax without audio. It's a fucking comedy.
Oh yeah,
it's a fucking comedy.
Well, that's just a bad movie.
Paris Hilton getting fucked up in the head without the
audio. Who let Paris Hilton be in a fucking movie? Oh my god,
her sex tape.
What is she up to?
What was she ever up to? She made that one show.
What is she up to now? Though?
She made that show like The Simple Life with.
That was like
who was that other
early
girl
2000s?
She did that
wasn't
with?
it?
Yes, but that show was fucking funny. I forgot the other girl's name. Who was the girl she did that with?
Paris I don't remember.
Hilton and
I can imagine the cover of like the DVD set with them in like the farm clothes. And
everything they say. Oh my god, that's sexy. Oh, that's hot. Like they steal a cop car and take it through a car wash with the lights on. Like Jesus.
Yeah. High quality entertainment right there.
Yeah, you know, people we've seen too much of doing shit we already know happens. That's cool. That's entertainment.
And it's. You know, it's funny to talk about entertainment right now.
Real quick, though, look at this image of that fucking pyramid.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Bring it back just real quick to instrumental music. Put shit like this on, where it's just like images of like landscapes and shit like that. Put on some fucking Mogwai. Some shit like
some
that.
Fucking Mogwai.
And take some real nice psychedelic drugs in a safe environment with your friends. Do that, and you're going to have a life-changing experience.
We should talk about mushrooms.
We're not allowed to. That's illegal.
This is all theoretical, of course.
Oh, yeah.
This is all conversation. Everything on this podcast is always just...
Well, I'm playing a character right now.
We're just in a...
Bubba's not a real person.
I would like to point out that I'm pretty convinced that this whole world was a video game in the first place.
Maybe.
I'm pretty convinced.
There's nothing that can prove that it's not, so...
Okay,
you
know.
If you dig too deep into that rabbit hole, it kind of hurts your brain, and it makes it hard to get through the day.
But, like, if we were to run an experiment, right, like, to test, are we in a simulation? Like, if we were to run that test, like, what are some things we would do? Well, like...
Try to test the fabric of the universe real quick.
NPCs, right, like, NPCs... In video games, NPCs, non-player characters, for those of you who don't play games, so like just computer characters. But like NPCs, they don't just sit in one spot; they're always moving, right? And people can't just sit somewhere; they got to get up and move.
It's true.
They can't just, or you die.
You'd be like that guy in the movie Seven.
How dare you bring up Seven? How dare you bring up Seven? That movie,
like one of the most fucked scenes ever.
That scared me.
Oh, it's terrifying. The atmosphere of that movie is just absolutely unreal.
I thought he was dead, like when he walked in, and then it's
and he's not. Yeah.
I want to say 12, 13 when I first saw that movie.
That's too young.
Not ready. I was not ready. My fucking neighbor. I love
Scar
that
you
kid.
for life.
Yeah, well, he introduced me to hockey. This kid was like my hero growing up. Like, he was my hero. Shout out Lee Toms. Love you, buddy. That dude was great. But he also showed me like Lord of the Rings, and so like he was like because my older brother was 1 year older than me, but Lee was like 1 year older than him. So like he was like he knew shit, dude. This kid knew. He was like the leader.
Yeah.
But like he showed me these, and then he's like, "You want to watch Seven?" And I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "It's about whatever. It's kind of scary." And I'm like, "I can't be a pussy." I'm like, "Oh, fucking toss it in." Yeah, I can't be a bitch right now. Yeah. I didn't sleep for like 3 fucking weeks, dude. I was scared shitless, and I don't think to this day that he knew he scared me with that movie. But whatever.
It's even scarier now that we know what we know about Kevin Spacey. Fuck.
Kevin fucking Spacey.
Now it adds a whole new level of terror to that film. When Kevin Spacey put up that fucking video of him in character as Frank Underwood, like weirdly defending himself, that like really drew the line for me. Where I was like, man, I can never really stand behind Kevin Spacey. Not to say the sexual assault, like allegations are something that I was just like, that's cool, but like I'm saying, like,
I know what you mean.
That's a whole nother level of crazy.
That's
to just.
Yeah,
and not only that in character, but in character as a terrible human being.
Yep.
Frank Underwood's not a good person.
No.
It's not who you want to be like embodying when you're defending your
and I feel like that was
rape allegation.
That's like, oh man, that's
not as bad as throwing someone in front of a train.
That's literally the scene of like when someone's walking in with an angel and a devil on their shoulder, and it's like, wow, I should really go with the angel right now, and they're like, fuck it, devil, and that's like he just did it in real life. Like, what? It's like, dude, I supposed to only do that shit in movies.
He ruined all those great fucking roles he did. It sucks, man.
Well, he ruined a lot more than just that.
I know.
He ruined a couple lives here and there too while he was at it.
See, I'm a big fucking movie nerd. So it affected me more that it makes it weird to watch American Beauty now, okay? Especially American Beauty. I just have to
be that guy that covers our asses for the... We're in that society right now where, like, if you don't, like, cover everything...
Clarify what
someone's
you mean.
Like, well, he didn't say that he was against it, so we're just going to assume that he
for
likes
the record,
rape culture.
I'm 100% not for sexual assault in any way, shape, or form.
No. In fact...
I don't know why you would be.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I've claimed it, and no one's called me out yet. And because I truly believe this, I did not see anyone else posting Epstein memes before me. I made my first Epstein memes by myself on my computer.
Well, that's something that's bound to happen though. That probably spread like wildfire from several source points around the globe.
But only recently. If you go back on my timelines and shit, I've been doing this since the day he got arrested, man.
Yeah.
Epstein memes have been my fucking thing, and now they are huge, and I'm taking credit. Fuck, I'm doing it. This is mine. No one's called me out yet.
I'll give you partial.
Okay, I'll take 0.5 credit.
As a fellow memer.
Okay, because I am a meme lord at this point.
Well, I don't mean to... So if we're going to toot our own, internet prowess horns...
Go ahead.
So I run... I'm an admin of Marty Scorsese Eyebrow Posting.
Yep.
Which...
Are you really?
Yeah, I created that group.
Really?
Yeah, and
I've seen that group around. That's kind of funny.
we're up to 7. We just hit 7K today.
Attaboy.
Yeah,
Attaboy.
Yeah. So that's my big achievement. Yeah, I mean when Marty said all that shit about Marvel movies, I saw our memes all over the place. Like, I mean, like
Yeah,
we were one of
everywhere.
the source points of like a lot of those.
You guys were the pool that everyone goes to dig
Shout out
into.
to Jake Marley Connor on Marty Scorsese. Eyebrow posting he's a fucking meme
Eyebrow
legend.
posting.
He's a fucking legend.
I made this one meme that didn't fare so well. Oh man.
Yeah.
I made a meme like, thank God. It involved Casey Anthony and like how her daughter was lucky because if she wouldn't, that Casey would have sold her to Epstein or something, and it just didn't land well. It just someone was not okay with it, and I was like, you're right. That might have been.
Don't cut yourself on that edge, bro.
I basically
You posted cringe.
I posted hella cringe. They said I didn't just post it. I went on stage and said it in a microphone to a crowd of people to hear it.
It's awesome, man. The stand-up is something that I always like. I've loved it since I was a kid.
Oh, dude, it's dope.
And I've always wanted to do it. And I don't see being like I have a lot of things that I want to do. And like we were to bring it back to what we were saying before about like you can't do everything. Like of course, like I am just totally trapped by how many ideas and things that I feel like I could, if I focus my energy into, I could really accomplish. Like, I remember there was a point in time, I have like a fucking 10 or 11 full pages of stand-up material written that I'll never probably do on stage.
Dude.
And it's because, like...
I'll let you come on stage with me sometime.
Oh, I don't know if I have, like, man, I'm just...
When
I thought about it, just the stress just, like, made me want to take a shit. Like, just right then and there, I was just like... I don't even know what I'll do on stage. Have you ever seen that episode of It's Always Sunny where fucking
Yes.
Dee does stand-up? Just those little gags.
About throws up.
Dude, it's like the most stressful thing ever. And of course, it's once you get your legs there and you're comfortable doing it, that's what it takes. But it takes that first few times of not being good at it, not having that comfort, because you have to build into that. And that's...
I have never not been nervous on the stage, though.
Well,
Ever.
I mean, that's impressive.
Always. I'm always fucking sweating before a set. Especially if, like, I'm getting paid for it, and I know it needs to matter, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking...
I mean, it's like, it's like one of the most stressful kinds of public speaking for most people, because it's like, you're up on stage, all attention's up at you, and you have to make everyone laugh. Yep. And if you don't, you fucking suck.
Yeah,
and
if you
like
bomb,
people will fucking tear you apart.
Well, yeah, if you bomb,
It's
everyone
terrifying.
will tell everyone. But if you do well, someone might tell someone.
Yeah, and and to be successful at it, I mean, fucking stand-ups they're rock stars, man.
Thanks,
like
man.
they're awesome. It's I want to do it, but I like the music. Like, you know, like I said, I'm in 3 bands, and don't want all of them to succeed. So there's all the attention there. I have in the back of my head, I really want to get into writing. Like, that's something I've always wanted to do.
Books?
Writing comics.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I could probably never write a fucking novel. I would rather write something where, you know, someone who draws really well does a lot of the work.
Okay, yeah.
And that's what's up.
You're the narrator of the...
And in
story.
the past couple of years, I've really fallen in love with the medium of comics and graphic novels. It's like, I mean, it's something truly beautiful there. It takes both of the things I love about storytelling in a visual medium and you know in a physical medium. Like, it's like a TV show, but it's a fucking book.
You ever seen?
It's brilliant.
Growing up, did you ever read those Captain Underpants books?
Hell yeah. No, and I love, that was like my favorite shit.
I love
Dave
those
Pilkey,
books.
man.
Yes,
Shout out to that
yes.
guy. I had Halloweeny too.
Yes.
Like when I was real young. Captain Underpants, and that's about 2 kids making comics. I made
a comic book about making comic books.
I made comic books. So I made comic books in high school, and they were horrible. They were really vulgar, really violent, really vulgar. Like I read back to them, and there's some very questionable content. You know, I just didn't have that, you know, filter in my brain to understand. You know, I don't know. But my principal got a hold of him one time. So I was in the special ed room because I was bad at math. Couldn't do the maths.
Couldn't do the mathematics.
I spent a lot of that time making comic books in there, and they're all stuff. But also, I cannot fucking draw. So for people that do not make good comic books, even that was all stick people. I got really good at drawing stick people, though.
Yeah, you can honestly, dude, stick people are their own way of like art.
Yeah,
it's quicker. You can get the idea across, and you don't need too much attention to the little shit. You just get the idea there.
One of the best films ever made has a main character who's a stick person. It's called "It's Such a Beautiful Day." I can't recommend it enough. Just going to throw that out there into the airwaves. I will have to watch it. It's an animated masterpiece.
Is it on YouTube?
No, it might be
Netflix.
So Don Hertzfeldt's the animator. He's a fucking genius. Super underrated. Type it. They definitely got stuff of his on YouTube. But that's a full length film that is. It compiles 3 of his short films into a full length, and it's one of my favorite. It's probably my top 10 of all time. It really is like a truly unique piece of art. But to bring it back, in high school, my special ed teacher was out, and we had a substitute, and the substitute was like, "Oh, what are you working on there?" And it was like stick people blowing each other's fucking brains out, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And like when I went to another class, she took them, she brought them to the principal. He made photocopies of them and told my parents, and so it was this big thing. They were 100% convinced I was going to bring a gun to school. That's basically what this came down to. Also, to kind of preface this, I'm 100%. I fucking do not like guns. Like, I am not anyone who will ever bring a gun to anything because I don't want to have them on me. I don't like violence, and I don't have any reason. I try not to live in a place where I'm like afraid of what might happen.
Right.
Like, if someone's gonna fucking pull a gun on me and want to kill me, like that's gonna happen, man. And either fate's gonna that happen or it's not. And
I would like to point this out quick because you and I both know I think exactly the opposite of guns. Like, I love my guns. But notice how we're both here, and we're fine.
And it's like,
isn't this? Oh my god!
And also, like, to bring it to that issue is like, I think people should have the right to have guns.
Right.
I think
I know what you mean.
That's a touchy subject. I don't want to get on that one as much.
Your personal philosophy is you're just not into it. It's
I don't want
you.
one. Yeah.
I'm super into it.
I try to
fucking love them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we can't be friends.
Exactly.
I just really wanted to. God, man, we are
plenty of friends who like guns. I mean, yeah.
Even if. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do, where you're. You're my friend. We're all friends. I don't care.
Amen, brother.
I don't care. I don't understand why we can't like each other because we think differently. What the fuck is that about? When did that start happening?
That's just because people want to be. They want their ideas to be reinforced, and
I feel like we're on this pendulum backswing. Though
people are
I feel like
argumentative.
it's gone too far. But I feel like everyone kind of is like, all right, we're kind of tired of feeling so goddamn stressed out all the time. Everyone's at odds with each other. It's like it's got to be exhausting. I opened this for you. I saw you were getting low.
Another one. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't have to drive home, you know.
Okay, this will be the last one. Unless you don't want it.
I'll drink like half of it, maybe.
Okay, I'll drink the other half.
I have a magical ability to know when I'm reaching my legal limit.
If you don't want it, here, I have root beer as well. I brought those in just in case.
Dilute it.
Here, I'll just drink this one, then you can have the root beer, and then we're all safe.
Yeah.
All right.
For that comic incident, though, I got a week. I got sentenced a week of school psychology.
I got sentenced.
Straight up, like every day for a week, I had to spend one period with the psychologist at the school talking about my feelings. And I kept telling her, I was like, I just like Quentin Tarantino movies, ma'am. I don't want to shoot anybody. I just am drawing because it's fun.
What's more traumatic, making you go through a punishment and talk to somebody about it forever, or just letting it go? What's more traumatic to a kid?
I don't know.
Because here you are at, how old are you, 26, 27?
27.
Yeah, here you are, 27. That incident happened when you were a kid. If they wouldn't have done that, you would have never thought about that picture again.
Yeah.
Yep, but they made it into a huge deal.
Yeah.
And now that's a thought that will be with you forever. If they would have just let it go and just not, oh my god, he drew a stick figure with a gun.
Like I get the need. All right, so like I get like there should have been some sort, like I get being like a principal being like, this kid's drawing fucking people killing each other. Like that's like every single one of my comics had violence in it. Like I have to tell you this.
Okay, yeah, but how many grandpas taught their kids how to burn ants with a fucking magnifying glass?
That's true, and that's actual violence.
That's what I'm just. It's Jesus.
You want to look at it that way?
It's a fucking picture.
Real life violence.
Plus, if drawing a picture of violence is bad, then get these these goddamn U.S. history encyclopedias out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any more.
And like
reviews.
everyone who makes movies and books and comics and any kind
done.
of media.
Everything's done. We can't do no more fun. We're canceling fun this year.
Yeah.
Fun is canceled. Too risky.
But,
might say something bad.
But yeah, so like that whole thing. So doing that as a kid, and like I always knew that like telling stories is something that's been inherent to my personality since I was literally since I could speak. Like there's home videos of me as a kid just making shit up, like because I wanted to. It's a classic home video where I'm just like it's my grandparents at a table and my mom and they're all just and I'm just in my underwear walking around like there's farting monsters and peeing monsters and pooping monsters and they're all friends. And, like, I'm not even kidding. So, I'm going to write the Fartin' Monster, Poopin' Monster, Peeing Monster comic book. I'm going to get it optioned for Marvel Comics and make $1 million.
Yeah, it'll work just like that movie. What was that? Liar. It was the one with the guy from Malcolm in the Middle, the kid from Malcolm in the fucking Middle.
Oh yeah, fucking Frankie Muniz.
What was he? And him and Amanda Bynes.
Big Fat Liar.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
Before she shaved her head and went fucking psycho.
Hey, be nice to Amanda Bynes, alright? She had a rough time.
She did have a rough time, but did you see that video of her escaping from the Brown County Sheriff's Office under the van? Did you see that when she broke out of prison?
Famous people, dude. Being famous, I have a lot of sympathy for famous people who crack, man.
I'm not cracking on it right now. Yeah. I think that's genius. Did you see how she tuck and rolled under the bed? Did you see that video?
I didn't, no.
Oh my god, I'm pulling it up. She literally is in line, and then there's a video of her there's a video of her like jumping out of line and then ripping under the bus and then grabbing onto the bus from the bottom like fucking 007, and then they roll on out of the cage. I need to find this video.
Bring it up, young Jamie.
Find this. I wish I had a Jamie.
Yeah. We all want a young Jamie. I've always been really into like just calling people young, like just using that as like a part of their name.
Oh man, there's just so many TMZ videos up. It's tough to find the right one sometimes.
Yeah.
What is this one? Nope, that's not it. Oh, jeez. All right, that's taking too much time. We'll worry about it later.
Yeah, too much dead air, man. You were putting me on the spot. I was like,
sorry.
what should I say by myself?
It's so hard to find some of these videos now because like it's like typing in shoes. It doesn't even show up first anymore. Remember when that video was the video?
The shoes. Let's get some shoes.
Yes, that.
I remember the golden era of the internet.
Yes,
as we like to fondly remember it.
The birth of
E-bombs
YouTube.
world, my dude.
Yes.
Albino black sheep.
Oh my god! Please.
I was all about Weeble stuff. You ever go on Weeble stuff?
Remember?
The British. That's where the badgers. Is
that where it came from?
Yeah, Weeble stuff.
Because I saw that video.
Good original content.
On funny stuff. Or funnyjunk.com is where I found that video the first time.
Yeah, Weeble stuff is the originator. That's the original content page where all that silly British animation that's on loops comes from. Like anything that you've seen, like a Krabs song is like, I've got a big bag of crabs here.
I've never seen that.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. I'm gonna put them in my mouth. Oh yes, dude. British people are fucking goofy. I love it.
They're like everyone in Britain is like a big Monty Python movie.
I just watched Holy Grail the other night for the millionth time because it just never gets old. It's just the kind of movie you can just put on. The opening credits of that movie is like
has been sacked.
It's my favorite. That's like my favorite part of the movie, honestly. Like like if you just like because every time you read it, like there's new things you find in those credits. Like the name, like because they change the names each time to like, and it's like Moose Handler is like, and it's like ridiculous names.
Some stupid.
It's so fucking funny,
dude. And it's that kind of humor. Like it's the humor that you have to pay attention to get. It's kind of why it's funny. You have to like actually be kind of smart to know it.
Like it's so dumb that it's like here's a perfect example of that. I think. Do you like Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
I've seen it a couple times. I do find it hilarious, but I'm not.
See, that's a show I'm up like. I own the first 7 seasons, like the good season, like the heyday of the show, and I've seen them a million times. I highly recommend.
When they were on like Adult Swim, or they're still on Adult Swim.
It's not canceled. It ended now. It's over. But
they pulled it on.
Last few seasons they were good, but they weren't as good as like the the real good
Yeah.
seasons. But I'm telling you, like, one of the best nights I've ever had in my life was eating mushrooms with my brother all night long. Like, literally, we kept eating them. Like, we wouldn't stop. Like, it was like we took it. We're just like, want to eat more? Yeah. And it was like a fucking couple hours later, want to eat some more? And we just, like, an undisclosed amount of psilocybin was ingested. And we just watched like 3 seasons of Aqua Teen, like, in a row. Like, all because they're like 15-minute episodes. So we just like I've never to this day laughed that hard. I would, like, you know where you laugh to the point where you can't fucking breathe?
Yep.
That would happen to me, and then I would see or hear something else on the show that would re-trigger the laugh cycle.
Having asthma
and
attack.
I already can't fucking breathe.
Yep.
I had to we had to pause it, and I was also dating this girl at the time who had to work in the morning, and she just kept, like, periodically getting up, walking to the bathroom, and just giving me this look like, you fucking piece of shit. You're keeping me up all night, you piece of shit. So that was like the best night ever.
Oh man, how crazy is it that shit's? You know, this is why I feel like, because I used to be on, like, if you smoked weed, man, you were such a fucking piece of shit, dude. I used to be that fucking guy.
Really?
Dude, when I was a kid, I
never
was
that
super
guy.
bought into Dare. When I was a kid, I thought that lion was my homie, dude.
I wrote an award-winning speech for Dare in middle school. Back when I was in the Dare program, I said it to my whole school, and they were like, this is one of the best speeches that anyone wrote, or whatever. I got a little thing for it. And it was all, but hey, like,
To Dare's credit now, they did take cannabis off of it as like a drug.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
They did take that off.
Good,
So that's
good.
for them.
Because it was straight propaganda that they were
Straight
spouting in
bullshit.
Dare. So
It's harmful, man. That shit, lying is harmful.
yeah,
Because
well,
I'll tell you what happened.
keeping people in prison to this day about it.
Well, let me tell you what
It's-
happened to me, because I thankfully I never went to prison. But let me tell you what happened. So, like, I used to be really against all that shit, against, like, weed, mushrooms, blah blah blah. And then I was like, wait, why am I against all this shit? Like, what is? And like, I couldn't find a legitimate reason as to why I should be against any of this. So I was like, well, I've never even tried it, so I might as well try some weed before I hate it. I smoked it and I fucking loved it, and I was like, what is so bad about this?
Yeah,
I
and then
have
you look
been-
into it and you find out that it doesn't kill people.
It doesn't kill people.
It's also got numerous health benefits.
And the only reason why it became illegal in the first place before Nixon is because of an asshole guy named William Randolph Hearst. And because he owned a bunch of paper factories. And
Preaching to the choir, my man.
A bunch of trees.
I know
and
it.
a bunch of printing presses. And so hemp came along and became, and I'm telling this more for the listeners here too, but hemp came along, and hemp is a crazy product because it's like, I don't know if a lot of people haven't held hemp in real life, like in their hand, but it's like strong like bamboo.
You can make fucking plastic out of it.
It's and the plastic doesn't kill everything everywhere. It's plastic that biodegrades in like 90 fucking days outside.
That's a big one. That's
So,
a big one that we don't talk about.
There's that. Well, there's that. Have you ever heard of hempcrete? Concrete made out of hemp.
I've heard some
Lasts
about it.
3 times as longer. Better for people who run on it. Better for cars on their tires, and it's cheaper.
And that, but replacing all of our roads with this hempcrete, that would be
we wouldn't have to
quite the undertaking.
We wouldn't just have to rip up roads, but every time that we do a road renovation, toss this one in.
It's true, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like redo some like major ones.
But with William Randolph Hearst, basically what he did was he didn't want his paper factories to have to get changed over the machines over to hemp because that would cost too much.
Yeah.
And so he decides, you know what? In all of my papers, I'm going to say that Mexicans and blacks are using this new drug from Mexico called marijuana.
Marijuana. That's why I don't try to call it that, man.
Marijuana, what it means is shitty tobacco.
Yeah.
That is what it means.
That's
what the Spaniards and the Mexicans called shitty tobacco. They called it marijuana. So
we need to end the use
it's
of
why
the
I say
term marijuana.
cannabis.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
what
I
it
say
is,
cannabis.
man. 100%.
But so they run it because he owns all the newspapers. He owns the media, and there's no social media to understand that this is bullshit. You went to the news for your truth, and he was lying in the truthful papers. You know, like So he made that. There was a.
They made propaganda films.
There,
and shit.
there was. He backed up all those.
Yeah.
But there was an article called the Mexican Marijuana Strangler. And yes, real story. You can look it up from 1938. And this motherfucker wrote an article about somebody who he killed his wife and his kids in his house, which I don't know if you guys knew this, but that happens pretty often sober or not. People
That's
are kind
usually
of assholes, man.
that's usually a product of extreme mental
but it has
issues.
nothing to do with the guy being on weed.
Certainly
In fact,
not.
he wasn't even on weed. He wasn't even. He was just a Mexican. So they used him as propaganda, and then 3 months after that, all of Congress decided that this deadly drug needs to be fucking gone with. And then Nixon comes along and realizes he can throw black people and Mexicans in prison, which is an actual quote that you can look up for yourself if you don't believe me. That's actually what they said. Did we know the drugs? We knew we could vilify the blacks with cocaine and the hippies. And the anti-war hippies with marijuana. We could vilify their communities, throw them in prison. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. That was an actual quote. So, and to this day, here we are. And we're still there.
It lingers.
Joe Biden. What the fuck did Joe Biden say the other day?
Yeah, he said some dumb shit.
It's like fucking marijuana is a gateway drug. Joe Biden, what the fuck
you
are you
need to stop
talking
ruining
about?
it
Shut
for,
the fuck up.
for us all, Joe
Shut
Biden.
The fuck up,
I'm trying
Joe.
to vote Democrat, dude, and if you're the nominee, I'm not going to feel good about that.
No, I'm not voting for his ass. 2016, I voted for Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I didn't vote last election. And I don't want to talk a lot about politics, particularly Trump. But
yeah, we don't need to get in that.
I certainly, this is where I'm at with it, to just keep it at this. Is like, I didn't vote last time because I was just so disparaged by the whole thing. I really just was like, I hate this. I hate the whole state of all of this. I don't like either of these human beings. The system is completely failing us. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously,
no,
like it needs to be people who aren't just politicians.
Yeah, you have to separate.
We need to have a panel of people who are from different fucking walks of life. Different skill sets.
Called Congress.
And that's what it should be. It should just be that.
Here was my plan for Congress. I think Congress should be paid the median wage that the only way they can truly represent America is if they feel it. So all of your wages are now $32,000 a year because that's what the average American has. No, you don't get health insurance. No, you don't get transit pay. No, you don't get any of that shit because that's what the average American has. No, you don't get paid leave. If you don't want to work that day, you don't get paid for that day. Mm. Oh, you don't like it? Oh, that's fucking weird because you guys exempted yourselves from all of those laws you passed for everyone else. See? So yeah. Congress doesn't represent America. Congress represents themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing that people... you're not doing what you said you were going to do. How many fucking times do they have to do that?
Yeah.
Since 1963.
It sucks. It's like a pipe dream, really. I mean... But it really needs to be people who care about people.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be not people who are in it for, like, this fucking power bullshit.
Right.
Money or all these alternative, motives that aren't, like, just making the world a better place. We need goddamn superheroes, man. That's why I like comic books. They're so much simpler than real life. We need Spider-Man.
Dude, there are no heroes. There's just heroic decisions.
Yeah. But, what was I going to say?
I don't know. Let's get back to music. Let's go back to what you were doing.
I had I was gonna I had a segue in mind, that I fucking, but I love music. Music is like, it's this is universal language, dude. Like, it's one of the most, if not the most beautiful thing about human beings, in my opinion.
Do you think that the Tower of Babel was about the universal language not being a spoken language, but like something else, like maybe musical language? Because
I don't know enough about the Tower of Babel, to be honest.
The Tower of Babel story is that at one point in time, all of humans across the world could all speak the same language, and because we could all speak the same language, we conspired against God. So God split up everyone across the world with multiple languages, so they couldn't talk to each other, so that they couldn't conspire against him. Well, okay, let's just change the word God to let's change the word God to programmer. And let's change us to
some Duncan Trussell shit right there.
In-game character. Is that Duncan Trussell?
He had this whole bit about, like, what if we took a God out, man, and we put in the programmer. He literally said that, like, and then he just read Bible verses, like, and replaced everything with, like, computer terminology. And I mean, obviously, and it fits perfectly.
Duncan Trussell Family Hour is his podcast, and it's fucking
Did you see him at the Varsity?
I didn't.
I was on LSD at that show. That's a really great story. I met Duncan Trussell on acid, and I was peaking. That was when I was peaking, I think. We took it way too late in the night. It was real slow. It was good stuff. It came on real slow, and during the whole show, I wasn't really tripping. I was enjoying it, but I was like, it was kind of hindered by the fact that I don't know if you've ever come up into an acid trip on good acid. It's very slow and it's very kind of, you get sweaty and it's kind of weird and it's just stuff just kind of starts to, you just don't feel like comfortable for a little bit. At least I don't. And at the end of it was when I was really starting to hit it. It was like, and he was just there meeting people and I was like, I gotta meet him, and I didn't know what to fucking say at all. I was just like,
was he there to record a podcast, or was he being
no, he's doing a stand-up tour, his first stand-up tour,
dude.
What is it where like We Are God, or like I forgot the name of it.
Dude,
my brother got a shirt from it.
But, I love Duncan Trussell more than words can say.
Yeah, he's a beautiful human being.
I met him in LA one time. That was when I went into the Comedy Store for the first time, and he was over on the side. And I'm just like trying not to be a fanboy, but I'm definitely being a fanboy. It's like I'm just like, hey man, I just, I'm sure everyone says this, but like, dude, your comedy's fucking great. I love your podcast, blah blah, just the usual shit. And he's like, oh my god, thanks man, wow, hey man, do you want to come over here? And we went to this bar.
He's the best.
Dude, never met me before. And I went to the bar with him, which is 4 feet away, so it's not like we went that we didn't go across the street. But I don't know, he just took the time.
Yeah,
to fucking talk to me.
Well, that's cool. And he was taking the time to talk to people at the Varsity show too.
I told him I was a comic, and he was just like, "Oh man, let me just, don't come out to LA yet, man. I don't think you're ready. LA is kind of a weird place right now, man. Just kind of hold on."
I couldn't.
He's giving me real advice, man. But like, how many other people were like, "Yeah, get out here, just do it, fuck it."
Yeah.
He was like, no.
It's a good place to go broke, my friend.
It's a good place where dreams go to die. Well, I went there to go check out that apartment. It was $14.50 a month for a studio apartment.
That's what I'm saying.
In South Hollywood. You can go fuck yourself for that. Paying that shit.
No, it's who can live on that?
Fuck that.
And then I get it. They get paid. You get paid more over there, but it's
not
still
much.
Not a lot. Not enough.
As much as the cost goes up.
Not enough,
dude.
Money is
mushrooms.
A shitty thing.
This is what we were talking about. Was psilocybin
psychedelics, man.
Yeah.
So we were talking about
the only drugs I do for everyone to know is if it comes out of the ground, we're game. So like,
have you tried? Have you not tried LSD?
No.
And I get that. So here's the thing. All right, in the current state of things, with the prohibition of drugs as they are, I 100% get why people wouldn't want to try acid, because it's a microscopic drug. You can't fucking see it.
I do want to try it.
If you get,
I just don't know.
You want it to be reliable. Because if you get the wrong shit, you could go fucking crazy. It could be a bunk. People make shit that's not acid.
Steve making it in his basement while he's jerking off. Exactly. I just don't want that.
See, I for some reason, I loved it so much. The best acid I've ever had, I bought off a total fucking stranger in Chicago at a Ween show. Which is, I mean, you got to trust Ween fans.
You have to. It's a community of people who are all just into it, and they aren't going to fuck each other over.
Yeah, well, it wasn't at the show. I was there for a show, but it was a dude who we were meeting up. So it was this Ween Facebook group that I'm in, and we were meeting up at a fucking cafe.
Oh, that's safe.
Beforehand, and it was just like, this dude was for sure a deadhead. He looked like Jerry Garcia. He was like the old head, like hippie ass Ween fan dude, and he was like, "You guys want to buy some acid?" And I was just like, I had the devil in the angel shoulder on my shoulder moment where the angel was like, "Hey man, like you should not buy LSD off strangers because you could get something that's not LSD and die." And the devil was like, "Dude, look at this guy. That's probably the best acid you've ever had in your life." And it turns out,
opportunity, right?
It was the best acid I've ever had in my life. So the devil was right.
Oh man, but you got to remember, the devil used to be an angel until he was cast away. So he might have had good intentions on that.
He's got some good knowledge.
He had a history of being. I mean, he was good before.
Yeah,
he used to be alright, but then God was like, "Hey man, you're getting a little too sassy up here. All right, we're getting you the fuck out of here to the pit of flames with you."
I love the word sassy.
I do like the word sassy.
It's a good one,
dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. How pimp is it that God had like some archangels, and then one of them was like, "Hey God, I think I'm kind of like a little more G than you. I think I'm a little more. I'm a little more like, my wings are kind of big. I'm pretty cool." And then God's like, "Dude, say it again, man. Say it again. I swear
say
to
it
God,
one more time, man.
Say it again. I will send you to the pit of flames and send my son to die. Do it again. I'll fucking do it." And then I just pissed off a lot of people with that one for sure. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that. That came out bad. That sounded a lot better in my head.
I don't know if I caught.
Whatever. I'll just whatever.
Satan. Fucking Satan.
God, we just
that was a good silence moment right there. You got to savor those.
So here's what we've got on deck here tonight. I have I've just got my normal wax. It's kind of what I do. I have like a good mix that I've got between CBD and THC.
That hypothetical wax.
Right. The stuff that's not actually here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, I have the card. I'm legal.
I am.
Like, dude, isn't that crazy how you can drink alcohol with no problem? Get totally fucked up, get into a bar fight, nothing happens. Mm-hmm. But then, take the rest of that. No, literally.
Gracias.
You're welcome. What is that flavor there you got?
I don't remember. I don't even pay attention to the flavor of these things. These fucking carts, man. So it's like people are getting sick off of them and shit. And that's unfortunate. It's again like, well, yeah, that's what I was talking. So like the regular, or the criminalization of these substances, like especially LSD, because it's microscopic like that, is completely like just hurting the cause. Like it is the main reason that LSD is dangerous to people, and because people aren't knowledgeable about it, and right. B, they don't even, the substance, it's not regulated. I am 100% on of the opinion that all psychedelics should be legal.
Of course.
They should be regulated to kind of the same degree as as driving a car. I
just think that if you think that this should be illegal and no one's died from it before, right? You're not going to die from it. But you don't want it there. You should at least know what it is.
Yeah.
You should at least know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, if you are unwilling, then you should talk to people who have.
Yeah.
But to have a blind opinion that
people
you know more than someone else, this is bad.
Have you seen this shit that people say about acid? Like the misinformed opinions where people are just you just go, you just see a bunch of shit that's not there, you go crazy and you jump out the window, and that, classic fucking bullshit argument against it. And I mean, and I'm not the one to say that bad trips don't exist, because I've had one. Brother, let me tell you, I had a trip that is, to this day, has shaken my existence. Like, I don't look at life the same fucking way because of this trip. And we could go into that, but
let's do it.
My point,
there's a real, I want to talk about that. Let's do your point, and we'll go back to that.
My point was, this system of legalized psychedelics should be you should have to take a fucking test and get a license. You should have to watch a video of Terrence McKenna. You should have to watch that fucking documentary about Terrence McKenna. I forget the name of it, or something not just that. It should be a curated instructional thing that's here's all the things you need to know about taking fucking psychedelic drugs, which include don't drive, you fucking idiots. I've done it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Don't fucking ever drive on psychedelics, dude, no matter how fun it might be.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
it's not good.
Even with weed, man, people need to slow it down with smoking weed and driving. You guys, listen. I am a huge marijuana advocate. Obviously, I just said marijuana, even though I said we wouldn't say it anymore. Whatever.
Yeah, fuck up with that. We just said it.
I know we did. I'm sorry, but
how dare you?
I am a huge I want it, but guys, you got to be fucking safe, man. You can't be on the road lighting bowls and shit. You're so distracted, and then you're stoned, and your reaction time is lower. It's just, come on.
Yep. I mean,
don't ruin it.
If you have
smoke weed, but be responsible and get your shit done, bro. Don't fucking be, don't ruin it for guys.
Yeah. I have a tolerance to the point where, for me, being stoned doesn't really, it doesn't have much of an effect on anything I do.
Right. Okay. So, obviously,
except for being work. I don't go to work stoned. And, because that's, it's I used to get stoned all day, every day at work. But now I have a big boy job, and I don't do that because it's the responsible thing to do.
Yeah. There is a time to grow up.
Yeah, man.
There is, unfortunately. And by grow up, I don't mean that you have to now, nothing's funny and you can't have fun in life. Yeah. I mean, you just...
Change is essential. It's the constant force that drives the universe.
Change
drives your existence, man.
It's the only thing that's consistent is change.
Exactly.
The only thing that you can guarantee is that change is coming.
And it always requires sacrifice along the way. Because things are discarded as new things are gained.
That's the thing. It's sacrifice. Everyone looks at it like we're losing something. But, dude, how many times does the flower come back next year bigger than last year?
Exactly. That's what it's all about rebirth. You know,
fucking antlers on an elk. Yeah. Every year it gets rid of those things, and then every year they'll grow back bigger than fucking ever.
Something that blew my mind, my 10th grade English teacher, he's a cool dude, totally smoked weed, and I knew it right from the bat, but, you know... I never smoked weed with him, but I got it confirmed from his daughter.
Nice.
I'm not going to name him or anything.
Dope.
But he fucking had this thing. He told us about, like... So, like, there's this thing about every story ever told has this, like, you know, like... There's the obvious, like, structure of story where it's, like, an antagonist, a protagonist, and this and that. Mm-hmm. But it's, like, there's, like, this thing where, like, rebirth is an essential part of every story that ever existed.
Yeah.
Like, it just is. Yep. And it's like a central part. The protagonist will always go through some shit where they're like, this sucks, everything sucks, conflict. I'm getting fucked over. The conflict, And then something happens where a lot of the times it involves water.
The climax.
And he told us that. He was like, the Shawshank Redemption's a really good example because, you know, it's like a very, very heavy-handed, like, rebirth sequence where, like, Andy Dufresne, like, crawls through a fucking pipe river of shit and falls into a clean, clear water outside of prison and just goes with his arms outstretched, you know. And it's like that's every story is like they can overcome the hardships.
I don't like prisons. I don't, and I'll tell you, here's the thing, man. I grew up in a pretty conservative area, is where, you know, so it took me. I left.
I hit the microphone.
Oh man, that scared me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody.
Rest in peace, headphone users. Someone just died at their chair. Someone's at work. Oh god,
that was a cool sound. I'd like to sample that. Put it in a Kevlar song.
We're gonna cut that out of this, and
I don't even think I said when we were talking about my third band. I don't know if I ever said the name of it.
What was
Kevlar?
Yeah, you did say Kevlar.
Did I? Okay, I don't fucking remember. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's that damn hypothetical weed.
Did you know that a woman invented Kevlar?
Yeah, actually, I think we Googled that when we were Googling if the rights to the use of the word Kevlar were open.
Yeah. Yeah, is it?
Apparently.
Cool.
Nick said it was.
I hope he's not lying.
What were you saying just now before I interrupted with my loud, obnoxious sound of me hitting the microphone?
Oh, I was going to talk about. I don't remember what I wanted to talk about, but what I want to talk about is psilocybin mushrooms again.
You were going to come back to my bad trip story.
Right.
Remember we were putting that on the back burner.
Yes. I remember now. Yes.
Yeah, so
the point I wanted to make before you go into it.
Yeah.
Bad trips, good trips. I don't think there's such like a trip when we regard it to as a trip. It's like when you're taking a mushroom and then like the world like opens up a different part of your like if you get a CT scan of your brain and you take mushrooms, more of your brain opens up. It does. Like more of your brain gets lit up. More like it's I don't even know if you're tripping or if you're just seeing shit you couldn't see before. Because
being on psychedelics is a lot like how children see the world. That's what they found out.
It's
on LSD particularly.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. If a little green alien walked into this room right now, it wouldn't be shit compared to some of the things I've seen. Like I've done ayahuasca, and
have you?
Yes. And let me tell you what, that changed my fucking life.
I think he told me that once. Did you do it with like a shaman? Like you did it right?
Yep, did it the right way with the shaman. And actually, I want to talk to you
about Graham Hancock.
I want to talk to you about this upcoming 2020. We're going to me and my friend Jason, who is going to be on the podcast in 3 weeks. Nice. We are going to. What is that place? I'm trying to think. I really wanted to talk about it, and the name was in my head over and over.
Timbuktu.
No, it's in the desert, but it's like Burning Man.
Burning Man.
Yes, and here's
another thing Duncan Trussell likes.
Here's why we're going to Burning Man, because there is an area on Burning Man where there's like a little road, and on the left and the right and the left and the right and the left, there's going to be little things that show which hallucinogenic, which drug is in this tent, and in each one of these tents is a certified person of medical assistance with test kits and everything to help you through it, and you don't pay for it. You don't bring money to the Burning Man, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah,
you don't bring.
You just got to make the trek, man.
And if you bring your phone,
sometimes you just got to protect yourself from sandstorms.
If you're going to Burning Man and you're bringing your phone, don't do it. Leave your phone at home. I promise you, the first day is going to be weird without a phone. It is because you're just so used to it. It's going to be weird, like not texting someone that night or whatever. But like day 2 without dude, you feel so fucking free, and you go to all these tents and you do all these fucking awesome things with each other, and it's
orgy tents.
No,
I heard there's an orgy tent.
There is an orgy tent, but like I don't know if it's going to be open because there's been so many fucking complaints about it. But
I bet
if there's not,
I've thought about. I've literally had conversations about like
if there's not an official orgy tent, that's going to be somewhere, man. There's like you know how it is at these
people are gonna
places.
fuck.
Yeah, people fuck. Okay,
people fuck at Burning Man.
Okay, and if they don't have a phone to sidetrack themselves with, they're going to get bored. And
they call it Burning Man for a reason. It's because of the venereal diseases.
This is not why they call it. Can you imagine?
Burning Manhood.
Oh yeah, we didn't know if we. Oh yeah. Actually, leaving here, you automatically go like, chlamydia. That's just how this works. I didn't know if you knew. Yeah, Burning Man junk hood. That's yeah.
That's amazing that you went.
No, we have not gone yet.
Oh, okay.
These are all of my friends who have told me about this.
Oh, okay.
And they've gone multiple times, and they're like, Jake, if you don't come this year, we are literally disowning you. And I'm like, all right, I'll be there this year. Or they aren't going to disown me, but they're my festival friends, and I don't. These are not friends that I have ever hung out with, ever anywhere else besides festivals that I've gone to.
Weird.
And my favorite thing about going to festivals is I don't tell people when I go to festivals. I don't say it. I don't post pictures. I do nothing. I literally just disappear for a while. And I just tap out. I'm like, done. I'm out of life for this weekend. We're out of here. Fuck this phone. Fuck everything. Fuck it. We're done. Nope. And I'll just leave, go there for the weekend, and come back with. My friends there are the most unique, different, awesome friends on the planet.
Nice.
Like they go to Somerset. They go to Electric Forest. They go all over the place. And every time I see them, it's nothing but fucking love. And every time, everyone knows each other's names off the bat. Even if they have a beard, we're like, oh, you got fat this year. Like, it's just what it is, you know what I mean? Oh, man. So these people are telling me that they just need me to go to Burning Man with them. And I'm like, dude, that one's just so far away. But now my friend Jason lives in Vegas. And I'm like, oh, dope. We can just go, like, home base there and then just depart to the desert from there, you know? So that's what we're going to do.
Depart to the desert is a really cool thing to say.
It's going to be dope. It's going to be one of the best things that's ever happened, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited
I would be super... I mean... I feel like it'd be kind of stressful for me, but I'd be fucking down.
Consider it.
I'd consider it. I'd probably meet my wife at Burning Man.
Dude, that's what I'm hoping. Dude, I'm telling you. And all the people are just... You usually bring something with you that you're trying to, like... Okay, so... Like, what everyone tries to bring something with them that they want to, like... leave in the past. Like, okay, let's say the end of the movie Top Gun, when he throws Goose's fucking tags into the ocean. Yeah. It's kind of like that, but you tie it to the structure that you're going to burn at the end of Burning Man. And everyone sits around this burning structure and nobody says a fucking word. It's just quiet. And you just hear everyone's, like, bad shit that they hated just go up in flames, and it's gone now. And now you're free, and you're good to go. And everyone feels like...
It's a magical ceremony.
So much... It is. Everyone feels the amount of guilt just get off their shoulders and everything. Yeah. And if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, that's fucking gay. Dude, you need to go. Dude, you need to go. You need to get rid of that shit. Like, you need to smoke weed, first of all, right now. Start it. Dude, go.
Go.
Dude,
wherever you might be.
My favorite thing to do is, like, anytime I have a piss test at any job or anything like that, I don't fake those. I'll just piss in a cup, and they're like, oh, there's cannabis in here. And I was like, yeah, and there's probably also, did you notice that there was amphetamines in there? And they're like, yeah, we noticed amphetamines. And I'm like, oh, but a doctor gave me the meth, so it's cool? Like, what? I don't know. I don't buy into that shit. I'll piss my cannabis all day. Go if you won't let me work at a job because I smoke weed. Fuck you. I don't want to work here.
Fuck yeah, it's honor right
Fuck
there.
You. I don't want to work here.
Speaking of urine, can I take a quick?
Oh, dude, right out the door.
Yeah. I hate to leave you solo for a minute, but
definitely,
I want to keep going, but I don't want to wait the whole time.
I'll plug right now while you're doing that. It's going to be right down to the end of the hall there.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Bubba is one of my newer friends. I met him just a couple months ago here in the cities. he's just genuinely awesome, man. He's got a different mindset. We don't agree on everything, and that is why I think he's so fucking awesome, because we don't agree on everything, but it's nothing but love when we talk about things. And even if we just don't agree at the end of the day, then we just don't agree at the end of the day, and we're still friends. And dude, that's so awesome. Coming up here, I think tonight here, I'm going to be at the Comedy Corner Underground in Minneapolis. I like that place. Yeah, that place is pretty sweet. It's got some bumping music. Like while everyone's waiting, they'll just have. I think last week they had a picture of like an '80s dance video of all these like workout dancing people, and then he was playing "Wish Wish" by Cardi B. Just, it was hilarious. Anyway, a couple things I also wanted to bring up is if you aren't following the Epstein case, you should follow the Epstein case, because the Prince of York just stepped down over it, and I'm pretty sure he's actually, dude, he's back here, everyone. Did you see that the Prince of York stepped down, and he is now being investigated by the United States for the Epstein case?
No, I did not.
Yeah, that's dope. Oh, dude.
Shit's gonna happen.
Not only that, Bill Clinton's pilot, his presidential pilot for Marine One, just got arrested on child sex trafficking.
At first, I thought you were going to talk about like a pilot for a TV show that Bill Clinton had.
No.
Ooh.
No, there was a couple of those matinee at the island, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, dude.
No less, an official report says at no less than 26 times was Bill Clinton on that island. No less.
Fuck.
You can't. And in the island, when they raided it, when they found that fucking picture of him, like in a woman's dress, did you see that?
I don't think so.
Oh, I put it up on the screen. It's a picture of Bill Clinton, and he's got his legs crossed, and he's in like a.
There was something else you were going to put up on the screen before. It never got seen. You were going to play Amanda Bynes doing something to the cops.
Yeah, we said we couldn't find it. On time
you couldn't.
It was TMZ.
Remember.
Yeah. Basically, he's like sitting in a provocative pose in a blue dress, and he's like got boots on. Here, I'm just gonna put it right here. Look at that.
I don't know how I feel about that photograph.
And the thing is this is from the FBI. It's not like this is some bullshit 4chan picture. This is from the fucking FBI. It's a real thing that happened. And people were trying to say there was a picture of like George Bush in the house too. That was a fake picture. Just to get that out there. That one was not real.
George W.
But Donald Trump was
senior.
Donald Trump was all over his contact list. Yeah. But then at the Marigaloo or whatever in Florida, there where his first investigation happened, that was actually sealed. President Trump barred him from ever going back. But then in 2016, President Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were the defendants of a case of rape. And no one talked about it. Still no one's talking about it, actually. Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
What's that all about? Why are we talking about, like, yeah, okay, what he did with Ukraine is not okay, but at the same time, isn't rape not cool?
Well, I think in the current, like, times that we live in, obviously, with, like, the, massive amount of communication that's going on with everyone on the planet all the time because of the internet, I think shit like this is going to become, normal. We're really at a weird pivoting point socially. This kind of shit, political corruption and all that,
it's done, dude.
It's not going to, it's like people think that's going to go on forever. Nothing, like we were just talking, change is the only constant of the universe.
Yep.
And you know what's going to change is a bunch of fucking corrupt, old, crusty bastards
who thought
running
they were
everything.
Get away
They're
with
not
going
to run everything for that much longer. We're right there at the point where that shit is going to go right out the window, and we're watching it happen. It's going to happen in our lifetimes.
Look what happens.
Our generation
Look at Hong Kong.
and the generation before
Look
us.
At Hong Kong. Look at
one day
Hong Kong.
are going to be replacing them. And what's that going to look like?
Dude, did you see what I put on my Facebook post? It was like, Hey, once all the boomers are dead, should we just switch to metric?
That's actually
I
incredible.
don't want boomers to die. I love my grandparents, but that is such a
No,
funny
of course,
fucking...
of course.
That is such a funny fucking
Well,
meme.
hey,
Should we all
man,
just switch to metric?
Memes are memes.
We're like the...
Making fun of boomers is the thing, man, and
We're-
for good reason.
We're at,
all
we're
right?
at the... Like, why Canada and the United States back in the 90s were like, all right, guys, we're gonna switch to metric. And Canada was like, all right, and the United States was like... Oh, I was crossing my fingers behind my back, though. And then we didn't do it. We just gave that shit up and went right back to imperial. And I think it's because Americans are like, I don't know, like roughly 78% more asshole than Canadians.
Oh, easily.
And that's probably why we didn't.
Canadians are the sweetest motherfuckers.
Okay, hold on. Let's stop. I used to work up in Winnipeg pretty
Okay,
often.
there's gonna be
Oh, but
sure.
it wasn't sometimes. It was dudes in RVs running over people in shopping carts and stuff and just leaving. I was in a Walmart in my own town. This dude in a Winnipeg rolls up, parks sideways in between two parking spots. We already have an issue here, right? Step 1, you're parked like an asshole. Step 2, on his way in, he takes a cart, fills it up. I watch him fill it up with all this frozen stuff. He leaves the cart in an aisle, walks away. Never came back for that cart. When I left, he was gone.
my God.
What happened? What happened mid shopping experience? Did you go into labor? Did your wife have cardiac arrest? Like, I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here, but he wasn't in a rush to leave his cart.
Yeah, some people fucking suck.
He must have just been like, fuck Walmart today, and just like what?
I get so annoyed by people who have terrible shopping etiquette. They can go fuck themselves. Like people who like stop in the middle of the fucking exact, like they tried to be in like blocking like everyone passing by. Like,
They got the
what the
hypotenuse.
fuck is going through your head where you think that's acceptable? I go out of my way to like pull my whole fucking cart, even when it's heavy as fuck,
Trying to be
and I'll
polite.
just like I'll pull it to the side if I'm too far in, man. I'll hurt my wrists doing that for you. I swear I would.
It's just
And you know what? While we're on the subject of rude, people who don't hold doors open can straight up go fuck themselves.
oh, let me tell you about a door holding situation.
Okay.
Let me
Lay it on me.
So in college, I was friends with one of my friends, Nick, who I'm still friends with. He just still lives in Grand Forks, and his friend at the time, who he's since cut off because he realized she was just a fucking cancerous leech.
Yeah.
She would not let us hold the door. So like this is what would happen. We had a key that you had to open, and then you'd have to hold open this heavy door. There was no like handle to hold. Your key was the thing to hold on to, and it was a pretty heavy door. And I'm not saying she couldn't have opened it, but we opened it. I'm not going to shut it and then make everyone take out their fucking key to open the door. You're just going to hold it open for the squad.
Yeah.
So everyone was going through, and she just stood off to the side. And I was like, oh, are you staying here? And she was like, oh, I don't let men hold the fucking door for me.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Yes, dude. And
No.
I was like, because I didn't realize, I was still afraid. I didn't know that this type of people existed out here yet. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm just not used to that. So I was like,
That's so
was like-
fucking rude.
I was like, what?
like, it's
What?
just rude.
And she's like, no, you can go, and I will open the door for my fucking self. To me, like, as if I came at her with swords or something. I didn't do anything but open the door for her, and she came at with all this negative hostility
yeah, man.
because
like,
I have a penis. What? Okay, you want to talk about dude?
yeah,
that's
people like-
not feminist, bitch.
no, people
That's
like
not
that
feminist.
they're hurting a real cause.
I'm a feminist.
Like straight up, man.
I am a feminist.
It can't be
And
denied. Some people
it's
are just
about
extreme.
being equal to the core.
I
You-
hold doors for fucking anybody.
Dude,
anybody.
I held a
literally
door-
any human being
me-
that's behind me
Let me tell you what happened the other day. I
going
held
through a door. I will hold the door for them.
I held the door for a toddler the other day, and he said thank you. He didn't bitch about it. He wasn't like, "Oh, shut the door,
Because
pussy."
children are simple and beautiful and amazing, and I wish I was one again.
Nah, I don't know if I wish I was a child again.
I
because-
I want to experience it again, at least for a limit. Like,
yeah.
if I could, dude, if a wizard popped out of nowhere and was like, you could either press the rewind switch and go live through your childhood again, or I could press the fast forward switch and you could just fucking die right now.
Oh yeah, I would be a kid again then, in that case.
I'd be a kid again.
Oh yeah, in that case. Okay, here's kind of the turning point. Is like if you remember growing up, it's like when you're like 7, 8, 9, and it's just like, okay, I kind of get life. Like I play baseball, and then I go home and I eat, and I go to bed, and I go to school. Okay, I know what life is all about.
Yeah.
And then boom, 11 years old comes around, and you can jerk off and then you see Stacy with tits, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, I don't give a fuck about baseball anymore. Like, that's when, and then the whole world fucking 360s.
Yeah.
Turns around, not 360s, probably 180s, because if you go 360, you're right.
It's true. You're in right where you started, man.
God, I'm a fucking idiot.
I've done that exact same thing.
I'm a fucking
I did a
idiot.
360, man. It's like, so you accomplished nothing. Oh,
great.
yeah.
That's extra energy to do nothing.
Yeah, man. I started early. If we're gonna talk about, like jerking off and all that fun stuff,
I
started early, my man.
I was in the womb. I wasn't even born yet.
I was like 10.
That's about right. I think that's when everyone starts jerking off.
Yeah.
Even
Some
if
people, I've told that to some people, and they were like, "Wait, what the fuck, dude?" I didn't even think about it till I was like 15.
Oh yeah, not me.
Some people are like late bloomers on that.
I guess I had too many fucked up friends who were just like, "Yo, guess what?"
Yeah, man. we all have that one friend. We all have that one friend.
Yeah.
I had a childhood friend that just fucking got me way into porn way too early, man. It was not cool.
I've never really been into porn.
He found his dad's stash straight up. That's what happened, and he show me.
I've never seen other people fuck and been like, "Oh yeah, yep, big fan." Like never. I guess I'm just not into it. Like I understand. Like, but I don't know. You're just watching other people fuck.
Yeah.
Like maybe if there's some VR tech invented someday that can do that. Like,
Well, that's around, brother.
oh, but I have an iPhone, so it doesn't work. Yeah. See, I'm still on.
Why are you doing that?
Because why? Because what happened last week with Android? Like 110 million Android people got their fucking social security numbers stolen. That's why. That shit comes out like every year when their shit gets hacked and this gets broken and this fucking recall or the battery lights on fire.
Android device,
dude. What was it that fucking phone was barred from like airlines because it lit on fire all the time or some shit? Like, I just don't trust Android phones. They might be good with tech. They might have more. You could do this background, dude. You could do. I don't give a fuck. It lights on fire in my pocket. I'm not into it.
Happened to like a few people now. Come on.
Yeah, and on an airplane.
I didn't. I like my phone.
I know.
Let's not let's turn this into a
No.
Apple versus Android
I know.
dick measuring.
I do
contest.
like Android's platform. They do have cooler, like you can do more things. It's more personalizable.
Yeah.
But it has too many security breaches and too many. It's too many.
I saw that movie with Michael Fassbender, and I came to the conclusion that Steve Jobs was a cunt.
Oh, Steve Jobs was an asshole.
So there's that.
So there was this meeting that he had one time that someone was talking about, and he walked in, and he's just obviously like noticeably pissed off. Like he has the look of like just something is fucking not working here. And he walks into his board of directors, and he's like, "What is iCloud?" Like that's all he says, and his engineers are like, "Oh well, it's this platform and it uploads pictures and just whatever they were saying." He was like, "Okay." Mm-hmm. So why the fuck doesn't it do any of that?
Yeah.
And they like looked at him, and he was like, "That's it." And he walked out. That was his meeting.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, iCloud was fixed.
Yeah, he would. Dude, it's actually funny. I just thought of this. I did a junk job for a woman that worked at Apple. And it was really interesting because it's verified because I was cleaning out her shit. So
you could see the shit.
I did junk. We probably talked about this. Junk removal was what I was doing before. The junk boys. For people who don't know, the junk removal business. You go into people's houses, you take their couches and their old shit out, do hoarder clean outs and shit. I could just spend the rest of this time talking about the fucking crazy things I've seen in people's houses. Some old dude like fucking almost died in front of me, fell on my boots. He was trying to sit. He was old as fuck, and he was trying to sit in a chair, and his wife was yelling at him not to, and then he straight up just collapsed onto me.
Dude, this is the second show in a row that someone's died on.
No, he didn't die. He didn't die.
Okay.
No, he was just like, and his wife was like mad at him the whole time. She was like, I don't remember his name. It was like, Walter, why are you falling down? Fucking get up. Like, she have a thing. And I was just like, oh my God, sir, are you okay? It was crazy. But that's not the story I was trying to tell. What was it? Junkin.
Apple worker.
Yeah, oh yeah. She worked for Apple, and she was telling stories about she like knew what did she say? She like knew Steve Wozniak's wife and shit. She was talking about. She worked with her and stuff like that, or something like that. I have a terrible fucking memory.
Steve Wozniak used to date Kathy Griffin.
Really?
Yep.
Didn't know that.
For like years.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Kathy kind of lost her fucking mind in 2012.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
Dude, Kathy literally lost her shit, man.
Yeah.
Kathy, I love you, girl. You're fucking hilarious. I went to your shows twice.
Oh.
I saw all of My Life on the D list.
I don't know. I am very uninitiated in Kathy Griffin's work.
I just need you to not fucking send people to the houses of the fucking Covington children. You fucking psycho. Did you know she did that?
No.
She said, I want their names, I want their addresses, and she was sending her followers on Twitter to go to the 16-year-old Covington, the Catholic kid. Remember he was wearing the MAGA hat and the Indian guy was...
Yeah, okay, oh yeah.
Remember? And it was like the video came out the next day that the Indian guy actually walked up to him, and everyone was like, oh shit, we fucked up. And then, but Kathy didn't. Kathy was like, nope, fuck it, go to his house. Nothing happened to her. She incited violence. Twitter didn't ban her.
Yeah.
No police were like, hey, you can't do that. Nothing happened. Yet Milo Yiannopoulos says a man isn't a woman and he gets banned for life.
Fuck that guy, though.
Okay, okay, he can get fucked. I agree with you. I don't like him. I think he's a shitty human being.
Yeah, he sucks.
But it doesn't matter that.
But I agree with your point.
It doesn't matter that we don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't care if we don't like him.
It's true.
If his ideas suck, then everyone can make those ideas up for themselves. They don't need us coming along and being like, oh, actually, we're going to protect you from this naughty guy over here. Dude, we're adults. How about you fucking let us decide what we want. We don't have to follow him. And even if we're seeing his stuff reposted, there's a block option, and then you won't see it reposted if you don't like it that bad. You don't fucking deplatform someone over that shit.
I agree
don't.
with that.
We have a First Amendment. And for those of you, here's the scary thing. Some of my, I find myself more and more becoming a centrist, and I was raised in a conservative area, but I was kind of a liberal-minded person in social-wise, because I didn't like my friends kind of being treated like shit by my, relatives. I brought home, like Native American friends, and they were like, oh, you have a drunk here? Like, yeah, that type of shit. And whatever. Not all my relatives, just some in particular that are going to hear this and be like, oh, hey, why did you say that? But whatever.
Yeah.
So I really just, I don't know. I going into college, I was kind of more like, I don't think we should be being dickheads to gay people. Why can't they be married yet? But at the same time, before that, I was kind of against gay marriage. And then I was like, wait, why am I against gay marriage?
Someone told you to be?
Yeah, that was what it came down to.
Yeah.
That was what it came to, and I realized that, and I was like, why am I? Like, why does this? And then I looked into it, and I was like, wait, if they get married, this works out for everyone.
Yeah.
Wait.
That argument has no leg to stand on whatsoever.
Absolutely none.
The one against gay marriage is ridiculous.
I'm embarrassed to even have thought that
shit. I'm
embarrassed.
When that vote went down, for the when they nationally legalized gay marriage, I was very mad at people's reactions.
Oh, really? Were people being dicks about it?
Oh, dude. I mean, I was on. So at that time in my life, I would be on my phone every single morning, arguing with fucking people on ABC News articles, typically some shit like that. It was
ABC News covering up the Epstein story and shit too now.
Just like any major news outlet, and you go to the comment sections on Facebook, and you'll just see some of the most absolute ridiculous shit that people could possibly think or say, and I would just get so mad about it.
Yep.
I've now tried to pivot my use of Facebook entirely to memes. So
I just use social media now. Really, my main my account with all my family and stuff on it. I don't even look at the comments and stuff. I usually post, turn off the notifications, because it's kind of fun to stir some shit up.
I don't make posts anymore.
I just share stuff.
Yeah,
But
I post memes in my groups. That's about it.
Instagram, Twitter, all those ones. All I use, and honestly, Facebook. All I use those for is just promoting my comedy stuff. At this point, that's all I really use it for. It's like a free advertising platform. I mean, to find free, they're selling advertisements to me all the time. But whatever. You know what I mean.
For sure.
It's not coming out of my wallet directly, so I don't see it.
Yeah. Fucking, where is it?
Ah, Jesus Christ, man. Weed. What does it do to you?
We've run the gambit here. There's a lot of it's been covered.
What? We were talking about mushrooms tonight. We keep getting off. I wanted to talk about that one more
Never
time.
told my bad trip story.
Yes. There we are. We're back.
There's a meet, like...
Can I hit that, by the way, real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to try it.
Absolutely. we need those little moments of silence to be like, all right, what do we talk about now? It'll always come back to the thing that didn't get talked about before. It's what's beautiful about this format. Fucking, I've wanted to start a podcast since like 2016.
Do it.
I had this idea for a podcast. I'm not gonna forget the bad trip story, but I've had this idea for a podcast for like it to be like a half conversation, like, you know, just like this, just anything. And then the second half of it is just a jam session.
Do it.
Just a free form.
Hasn't been done
like,
yet. That sounds like
that
sounds like
session.
know what that sounds like? Money.
I don't even want to make money off it. I just want to do it because it sounds fun.
Yeah, but here's the deal: when you do things that you're good at because you like it and you're having fun, the money always follows it. It does. You do it first. I've been in comedy for years, and I've made nothing. And like just recently, within the last couple of months, it's been like exponentially going up.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's like you've been planting these fucking seeds, and you've been in the fields just, God damn, I'm picking up all these goddamn rocks and hoeing this field all day and spreading all this goddamn manure. It smells like shit over here all the time. Fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
And all this hard work is gay. Fuck. But then the harvest time comes around, and it's like, oh, this is why I was doing all that.
Yeah.
Oh, because this sweet corn's fucking sweet. That's why. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my philosophy on it. So like all this, whenever life is getting tough, it's like, oh man, we're just planting the seeds right now. That's what we're doing. We're just in the fields right now.
Plant the seed.
We're just in the fields, man. Yeah. Every action in life is a seed being planted, and it's gonna sprout. So you better do it right. You don't want. That's a
good way to look at it.
You don't want a skunk plant rolling up and just spraying shit everywhere. You know.
Like I was saying before, it's like,
yeah. Let's get back to your bad trip story.
Yeah,
Oh, and whatever you were saying. Go ahead.
So many things. I'm just gonna tell that fucking story.
Yep. Go ahead.
It's been too much build up to it now. Yes. It's not gonna be as good. It's
my whole audience has blue balls. We're just waiting.
It's been mentioned at least 5 times. But, all right, so I took some LSD.
Invented by a university, so it's safe.
Albert Hoffman.
CIA. Continue.
So I was we were having a good time listening to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and basically what happened was the vibe just kind of got interrupted by someone coming over that wasn't tripping, and I just kind of felt like you kind of pick, you know, obviously if you've tripped before, you pick up on the vibes of people around you and shit like that. Just things got real normal, and I felt like, I don't feel like I'm tripping as much now. Let's just chill out and do normal shit. I was rewatching Game of Thrones with my roommate at the time. And we were just like, let's throw on an episode of Game of Thrones. I've tripped plenty of times, so I've thought in my head, I was like, I can handle shit. Like, I can watch dark shit tripping and not lose my shit. And I don't know, man. It was just the silence of the room in the episode of Game of Thrones, which, you know, is pretty violent. I just started.
Was the episode of Ned getting his head cut off?
No, it was later in the series, but it was just, I started really internalizing like this thought of like suffering and what it meant.
Yeah.
You ever been stuck in an acid loop?
I'm not in an acid loop.
Well, yeah, I suppose you never took it
on mushrooms.
And a thought loop on
I have
psychedelic.
A comment about that after you're done. Go ahead.
Yeah, but so basically, my thought was like, because I believe in an infinite life. That's a whole other topic to get into deeply, but my spiritual beliefs. But I think you live like forever through like everything in some way or another. Like you're gonna experience everything there is to experience at some time or another. Because I don't think the universe could possibly end. Because I just can't wrap my head around that. And it's what I want to believe because it seems like it makes sense and it sounds real to me. But I think I just had this thought of, was like, if that's true, or if like just there's this part of being a living organism that is like inherent, like part of it is like suffering, and you're gonna like suffer in every way imaginable. This is what I was tripping on, and I like had a fucking just epiphany about it, where I was like, I'm never gonna unthink this thought forever. Like, this is something that has changed the way I think, and it has, because I never forgot about it. Mm-hmm. So basically, at the time, though, I just freaked out, and I got up, and I started screaming. Like, I was like, wow, we need to talk, someone talk me out of this. Like, I was like, I need to be okay. I'm not okay with being a person. I'm not okay with being this, any of this. That's what I was like. I was just ranting about it.
Right.
I was like super uncomfortable with my body. I was just like, I don't want to be a fucking organic being anymore because I'm going to suffer. I'm going to feel pain and nothing's ever going to be okay again.
Damn.
And I don't know why I had it so vividly and so horribly. And I've since come to the realization that it may be the case that you have to suffer if you're alive, but the polar opposite is just as true. And that's what you have to focus on, is there's the duality of it, of being like, yeah, like, life can be fucking horrible sometimes. Like, it can be like, I mean, obviously, we all know horrible things happen, but great, amazing, beautiful things happen every day, too. Mm-hmm. Like, it happens more often, where someone creates a beautiful piece of art, or someone, gives birth to a fucking new human. And loves it unconditionally. And all these things that happen that are good all the time, and all these good experiences we have, they mean something too. So you just can't get overwhelmed by like that awful negative thought of like, I'm alive, so I have to suffer. It's pure nihilism is what it is. So it's like, and I got stuck in the ultimate thought loop of nihilism, and where I was tough like,
because when it's a psychedelic that's affecting you too, there's nothing you can do but just wait.
Yeah. No, exactly. Oh, it was good stuff. I was tripping all day, man. It was a long time before I felt located.
Stuff, and you're just wrecked. That was great.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. It was powerful.
I know what you mean.
And this is, bring it back a little bit. This is why these things need to be understood. It's a powerful, powerful substance. I'm never one to say, like, everyone should fucking take acid in large amounts all the time. Like, when people say you want to legalize something, and like you were saying, everything's so fucking black and white to everybody all the time. It's super not. Like, I really think if we're going to legalize something like LSD, like, you should have to fucking take a class, earn your right, like, get a license that lets you go into, like, a dispensary to be like, I understand what I'm doing, and I'm a consenting adult.
Yeah.
And you go and buy it, and then you can buy it from a fucking scientist. You can buy it from someone that you can get verification. They'll have a microscope there, like, check it out. See that? That's the molecules that make up fucking LSD. Mm-hmm. Like,
and here's who made it.
Not from Jimmy Schmobo on the streets that's gonna fucking stab you if you rip them off.
Here's who made it. Here's the label. We know where it came from. So even if it did get fucked up, we can go back and get you like a shitload of money because this guy. It's like the same thing as someone gives you bad food. So you get E. coli, you can go sue Oscar Mayer.
Exactly. It's a regulated, safe system. Like all the other shit that we do. Like, that's the way to do it.
Humans are weird because we have this weird thing that we're separated from the world. Like, we're not of this planet or on this planet. Dude, here's what everyone needs to understand right now. We are hairless apes. Mm-hmm. We literally, for some fucking reason, our brain doubled in size in 2 million years. It happened to no one else, nothing else. Besides,
because the apes found psilocybin. What do you think of that theory?
The stoned ape theory.
What do you think of it?
We'll get back to that. I think it's an interesting theory.
I like bringing it up every time that gets brought up.
I think it's an interesting theory. I think it's got some flaws. I think it's got some great ideas, but I think a stoner came up with it.
Well, he did.
Yeah, I know.
Terrence McKenna is the ultimate stoner.
But
5 tried grams.
People need to be on this shit. Like, I'm telling you right now, my life has changed when you can see, because when you're on something like ayahuasca, which, if you guys don't know what ayahuasca is, it's something you drink, and it gives you like some visions in your head, like geometric patterns go through your head, and it like visualizes what you're feeling almost. So I'm trying to describe like the.
It's like a journey in your fucking head.
It is.
It's
there are not words.
I haven't taken it, but it's from what I've heard.
There are not words.
Yeah,
there are not words.
I can't imagine.
It's your soul goes on a journey. It does. Like your soul goes on a fucking journey for a while, and you go knocking on all your neighbors' doors, and your neighbors are like everything you've ever done. Like, you're like, oh, hey, I'm over at that time that I kicked this person's ass for no reason. Like, I'm there right now, and I'm gonna have to deal with this. Like, now I gotta reconcile. But when you come out of it, it's like 4 fucking hours of doing that. I see, it's long. It's long. But when you come out of it, you're like, for like a couple days, I was kind of struggling with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But, man, I called so many people, and I was like, hey, man, remember like in 2007 when I did that thing? Dude, I'm fucking sorry about that. I feel like shit. And then, all right, I gotta go to the next door, get that guy's phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made peace with a lot of people after that.
What do you think of this personal theory of my own?
Do it.
Concerning ayahuasca.
Go.
What if, now bear with me, what if every high-ranking politician should have to fucking take ayahuasca before they can hold any sort of office and have any sort of power over anyone?
I think that is an idea that would not sit well with the right half of the aisle.
Would it sit well with the future generations of millennials and Zoomers that will eventually replace the people that are in now?
Well,
or even their children.
Here's the thing that I think you're not seeing here is where the world that we see is through a social media lens, and that lens is tilted in a left leaning way because all those companies are in Silicon Valley. So when you log into your phone, you're logging into Silicon Valley every time. That's where you are because it's a big cable that runs across the country, and well, not a cable, it's wireless, whatever. But
it's also a good TV show.
You go into you go into that building where everyone thinks that way. So that's just how it is. You're automatically on a left-leaning scale. Now, it's proven that conservatives are being banned like crazy on these fucking social media sites.
Yeah.
So they might not be publicly around that you're not seeing them, but those motherfuckers show up to the booth on voting day. And they're there.
Yeah.
And they're there. We have President Trump. They show up.
Yeah.
They show up. And it doesn't matter, like, if everyone in California votes, it doesn't matter. There's just because there's a shitload of you in one area doesn't mean that your idea is stronger than someone from South Dakota. That's why we have the Electoral College. Balances it out. Your ideas change based on location around the country, based on the needs of that area. That's why it exists. It's literally a good idea. Whatever, we'll get past that. I just, when you're looking through with a left-leaning lens and the conservatives aren't around, it doesn't really give them a voice in that sense, so they go underground into different sites like 4chan, which I like being on 4chan. But let me tell you something, that New Zealand attacker was posting about his attack in 4chan for hours before it happened, and he got a shitload of people who've been banned from other sites going, oh, fuck yeah, finally someone's taking a stand for us, and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. You're exiling these people. When you're essentially kicking them out of town. You're outside the walls now. Now you don't get a voice in the opinion of what, like, everyone's, like, here's how significant social media is. That's how the president talks to us.
Yeah.
Imagine the president came to your town, and everyone was allowed to come, but you couldn't come. Everyone else, but you're not allowed to come there. Mm-hmm. You're going to probably hate everyone inside, even if they didn't do anything to you directly. But you're not going to like them. You're going to feel like they're the enemy now.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you exile people from these sites. Because it's like, oh, well, it's a private business, man. They can do whatever they want. Why are my liberal friends saying that? You should not be about big businesses, international businesses controlling what people say and think. That's not how my liberal friends are supposed to think. It's crazy. It's just because Trump is in office. Yeah, it's literally because it's on their team right now, and it's like, guys, have you not learned?
It's hard to like, for a lot of people, for sure, to like just dismiss like all the shit, what he as a person like represents and shit,
right.
And look past any of that. So it's like it's like wearing blinders. Like anytime it's
in a big way, Trump
administration.
The Trump presidency is a protest in the biggest way possible. And I'm telling you, but here's the one thing that is cool: if he wasn't a president, but became president, a lot of the shit that's going down right now, like Epstein, none of that would have came out.
Yeah,
Epstein would be alive and well today, still molesting little girls on that island.
It's a dark.
So I'm saying, because if Hillary was president, and the first lady was Bill Clinton,
it wouldn't be a good thing.
No. And I'm saying first lady because he was wearing that dress.
Yeah.
So in that
if
sense,
the shoe fits.
If it saves the kids, okay, let's get them out of there in 2020. Yeah. But hey, thanks for getting all those kids saved.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like
man.
I said earlier, that election broke me because I really was just not a fan of either of those human beings.
Right.
And I just really wish we were represented by better people.
Right.
And that's all it comes down to. Like, on both sides, like,
it's
throughout history, man. Like, politicians have largely been pieces of shit.
Dude, a libertarian almost became the governor of New York in 2018.
Damn.
It was very close.
Yeah.
They elected the crown again. Unfortunately,
and I can get behind. I can get behind a good amount of libertarian views, but not all. Like, there's some. It's like I got. as far as like where I fall on the spectrum is like I don't know. I'm definitely somewhere close to the center, leaning to the left. You know, I mean, like, but it's like we all have our.
Hey man, there's no spectrum. Doesn't exist, man.
It kind of, in a way, it does.
Here's why I don't
hear
like
what
it.
You're saying.
Saying that it exists is the only reason why it exists.
Yeah,
and everyone wants to group up with these thoughts. Well, I'm in this group over here because we think this.
No,
who's we?
Using it as an identity is where people go wrong.
Right, but like,
who's
that's we. Why? Why
not...
do you want to think what they think?
Yeah,
that's what you want to be like them.
Yeah,
you want that. You want to be completely not unique. That's you. You want to be a follower.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that? Like what? What the fuck is that about? Why would you want that, man? I don't understand that. Even like all the Trumpers who go around with this, yes, I mean, I know he banned guns and we really, really hated when Obama even mentioned the word gun control. We'd riot in the fucking streets, but Trump has done more gun control than the last 3 presidents, and they didn't say shit. Mm-hmm. In fact, they gave him like, yep, okay, daddy, take my bump stock, daddy, take my silencer. Like, I don't get it. I don't, because a person in your little group did something that is completely against what your group stands for. You're going to allow it though,
because it becomes their identity. People are like, I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. Like
stupid. It's so stupid.
There's a difference between
is that
understanding and acknowledging what you believe in and letting it become you.
Because I'm not a libertarian. Yeah. Like I feel like even most libertarians attached to the party are like dogs pulling at the leash from its owner. Like I don't know about this whole being owned by this guy thing. I want to be over here, you know.
Yeah.
That's honestly like it's the thing I like about seeing libertarians in charge is that it's a third party coming in. It's another option. People have a choice of a third choice now. Now we don't just have these two. Like have you seen Germany's parliament or France's parliament or something like that where they have like 10 different political parties involved?
Yeah. I think we need something closer to that.
We need a lot more political parties than this. We need like, even though I don't like the Green Party, get someone get Jill in there.
It's all about balance. You need a diversity of ideas and shit.
Yeah,
I think. I mean, we turn it into this game of like dick measuring, finger pointing, like childish bullshit. Where it's like they literally pay bunches of money to make ads to be like, fuck this guy. Hey, vote for me. This guy's an asshole.
I think all of the presidential runners, like the ones who are like the final 4, like we'll take the final 4, like those guys. Whoever wins, the other 3 and their VP people, they become like, let's say, just we bounce ideas off those guys, even though if they're from other parties, whatever. Like if shit, like, hey man, this is what's going on, motherfucker. Shit's kind of, this shit's hot. It's a lot for one person to make a decision for, because one person shouldn't be making a decision for 350 million people in the first place. Yeah. And
that's what it comes down to. It shouldn't be one fucking person.
No, the president has way too much authority. It was never supposed to be this. Yeah. The only places where a president has this much authority are like the world superpowers, like Russia and us, and
literal dictatorships and shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking man, shit goes deep, and it's upsetting to think about. I honestly try not to. And as important as it is we need people who give a shit about like changing the world and getting into politics.
Be the change you want
for the right reasons, and
exactly. Not for selfish reasons.
I wish I was that person sometimes, because I feel like I could.
Be that person.
I don't want to be. I don't want to throw my life away in that way.
I understand what you mean. You don't.
You know what I mean? Like I don't want to get into that world.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I'm an artist.
I understand.
I'm here to fucking chill out.
Yeah, a musician giving us
and try to bring the world something that I can enjoy for a little bit.
Man.
You
can bring the world peace through music. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be involved politically to make a difference.
Because we all have our roles. We all have a place in this world.
You do not have to be involved politically to make a difference. All you have to do is not be a dickhead to other people.
And I try my damned hardest.
And if you see
except for when they cut me off in traffic.
If you see someone being a dickhead to someone else, be like, hey, stop being a fucking dickhead to that guy. What do you do? And if they're like, well, it's a child molester, then go, all right, go ahead, keep doing it. And then you
yeah. Fucking A, man. How long have we been at this?
We're going to wrap this thing up here pretty soon. We're getting, I'm getting texts here.
It's a good session.
Wants to get in here. Hey, man, really appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
I appreciate you having
My
me. Like
listeners
I
are
was
gonna
saying
fucking
before,
love
I wanted to do a podcast of my own for like years now,
I think you should.
and this has actually really inspired me to do it because
I think
I
you should.
had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would love to be a guest on your pod show, on your podcast someday.
You can be a guest on my fancy pod show, young Jake.
Let me know, dude. If you need any help, anything like that, let me know. I'd love to help get started.
Fuck yeah, bud.
Awesome, man.
Thanks
well,
again.
appreciate it, buddy.
Peace
Take
out.
care, bud.